Hello and welcome back again to sunny England. No, this is not sunny England at all. We're in rainy Spain, if you can believe that. The weather is not the best today. Today is, of course, the 21st of March 2020, and this is the update video 7.0 on the coronavirus here in Spain. We got a lot of news to go over. Basically, there's a lot of updates today, so for anyone who is watching this, make sure you share and like, because this is how we get the message out there as soon as possible. I'll start waiting for everyone to start arriving to the live show, but in the meantime, I'll give you a quick rundown on everything that we have covered in the previous videos, what you can do and what you can't do. The first thing is supermarkets. You can still go to the supermarkets, that is not a problem. You can take a child if it is essential, and you can take the elderly, but it is avoided if possible, okay? You can't go out for exercise, running or anything like that. Even in communal areas, you should not be going out. This is not allowed by the Spanish government. You are not allowed... you're not allowed to go out in general for exercise, as in running, going out for long walks in the countryside or anything like that. You can take a pet out for a dog walk. It is recommended 50 meters away from your property, and to not gather into any groups or come into contact with anyone as well. The videos yesterday, we talked about people picking up and dropping off to the airports. You can no longer do this. You cannot take a friend or a family member unless they are young or they are elderly or disabled, okay? That's the only reasons you can take people to the airport. All other reasons are void, so you cannot take anyone else to the airport apart from those reasons. Transport, there is still emergency flights going ahead, but you have to be very quick. We'll talk about that a bit more today in a bit more detail. But yes, the airports are still open, but you have only emergency flights to get in and out of Spain from now on. Right, 41 people, brilliant. We'll start with the news today. Now, all 43 people of you who are watching at the moment, if you can quickly share this video, right at the bottom there is a share button. If you can share it out to as many people as possible. And anyone in Murcia house sales completing this week or next week. Daryl King, notary offices, I believe they are open, but only via phone. To make appointments, so please make sure you contact your estate agent that you are working with, or lawyers as well, because they will find out all the details with this, okay? Right, questions, if you can write them in, I will respond to them at the end of the video, because unfortunately I do get very distracted whilst I'm watching these videos, so I'm going to try and block them. There we go. And I'll try and avoid answering the questions just so we can get a clear video out and not me being distracted by all your comments asking questions. I'll try and answer all the questions as much as possible, but at the end I'll write a message to everyone, okay? Right, so this morning, I actually put a quiz up onto this group, onto this page, sorry. So if you can go and check it out, go and test your knowledge, see how much you know about the lockdown on Spain. And what you can and can't do in Spain. It's just a little quiz just to keep you occupied for a couple of minutes. Maybe get your kids to do it as well, just to see what they know. And a rundown of the news. I've just finished watching the Spanish news. My preferred channel to watch is Antena 3, which is a Spanish Spanish company. But the news that I've followed for very long time, basically. It's precise, it's accurate, and I like to use it for anything that I like to translate, especially. Now, they've done a rundown. As of today, there are 25,000 people infected in Spain with the coronavirus. There are 13,026 deaths in Spain from the coronavirus, but there are 2,125 cures, which is amazing. So all of those people, 2,125 people, have been cured. I think that is absolutely fantastic. Now, Murcia is one of the provinces that has the least amount of deaths, so this is very good. Obviously, what we are doing here in Murcia is working. We are staying at home. We are not going out when we should be staying at home, and we are trying to have the least amount of contact with people when necessary. So what we're doing in Murcia, absolutely fantastic. Now, all around Spain, doctors, nurses, they are working tirelessly to get all the medical care out to everyone who has got the coronavirus. Even retired doctors and retired nurses, even trainee doctors and trainee nurses, they are all being called in to help with this emergency. So there's so much gratitude that I think everyone should share. If you know a doctor or know that a nurse or anyone who's gone in to help in the hospitals, I think that you should definitely send a message just to thank them for what they are doing. It's absolutely amazing. On the news today, temporary hospitals are being made, so no, there are not going to be a shortage of beds. A lot of people have been commenting about rumours of shortages in hospitals and everything like that. The government are proactive. They are making temporary hospitals in any conference halls and everything like that, so that they can find and use. So they are using all of this space. So temporary hospitals up and coming, which is good. And also, from China is sending new quick tests, and they should have arrived today, is what they've announced on the news. And there's going to be more quick tests arriving on Monday. Now, at the moment, there's 20,000 quick tests that are arrived today, and that's going to one specific province. And then on Monday, they're getting hundreds of thousands more of these quick tests. So normally when you have the symptoms of the coronavirus, you have a test and it can take up to 24 hours to see if you actually do have the virus. These quick tests can be within hours. So it is fantastic that that all the governments are coming together, all the countries are coming together to share all of these resources. So I think that's really, really good. And that's basically from the news. I've got a bit more information, but I was going to talk about it anyway. But I want to get this nipped in the butt. There's a lot of rumours and videos and audios going around from what are meant to be professionals in China, and people translating from documents from China and stuff like that, saying that there are home remedies that can cure this. Now, please, 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 please be very careful sharing this information. None of this has been confirmed by any officials, by any government. If it were to be official, it would be all over the news, and you would see it so much more than just on your friend's Facebook page. Please just do some research. I actually had a video sent over from someone in this group. Thank you for sending it, because it shows that you're really, really active here. But it said from one of the pro-scientists in the university in China that lukewarm water and lemon and lots of vitamin C can cure the coronavirus. Now, I'm sorry to say, but you really have to think about this. The first thing I did was, of course, research it. And the first thing I did was typed in this scientist's name plus lemon water on Google. And the first 5 pages that came up were fact-checking websites. And they all said it is false. So please, if you're sharing any information about homeopathic remedies or anything like that, or if you've received it, just do some research, okay? It's not very difficult. If it says about a doctor saying this, put that doctor's name in Google and type in what he is offering, okay? There was another thing about putting your clothes in sunlight can actually get rid of the coronavirus. This is not true. No official has said that this is true. So please be very careful when checking these links or anything like that. Right, on the biggest news, there are crackdowns now because, of course, we are now in spring. The spring parties in Murcia especially would have been starting over the next couple of weeks, and also the spring parties, Banda de la Huerta, all of these different things, these festivals and parties happening in Murcia. Now, of course, because a lot of people normally travel from Madrid up from north down to the coast, there are more police stop checks about. So if you are driving, you need to drive, just make sure you take everything that you need to get back home. Now, this is just proof of address, NIE number, and if you are going to the supermarket, just make sure you have proof of receipts if you've bought something and you're coming back home. So it's just the simple things. I've been saying these for the last 4 or 5 videos. Just try and make sure you've got the basics just to get by, okay? Now, you shouldn't be traveling unless it's absolutely necessary. Yeah, that's basically it. So there are more police presence that is going to be out, so just be careful when you're driving. Now, if you are driving to work, there's been lots of speculations on what you need to go to work and if you can still work. Yes, you can still work, but only for emergencies. So plumbers, electricians, builders, this should only be done when it is an emergency. There have been fines for builders who have not been taking the correct precautions. Now, when we say precautions, it means if 2 or more people are traveling in a work van, it is possible, but they have to wear a mask. That is now by law. If they are on site, they should have all the necessary documents to prove that they are allowed to build. Now, this will be something from their boss to say that they have to work in this address. If the government or police feel that this is not essential work, they can fine you. So please, fine you. So please be very careful if you are doing any work out there. I know a lot of plumbers and electricians have been messaging me, just saying thank you for the information, but this is basically it. If you've got emergency work, yes, you can. Just take all the precautions. If it is not necessary, you should not be out there because the police will fine you. Pool cleaners as well. Now, there is no official document to say that pool cleaners cannot work. This is actually essential maintenance on pools. We can't let pools turn green because this would be a health hazard for all the pools in different villas around the area, around the whole of Spain, really. So yes, pool cleaning can still happen, but if you are self-employed, and you need to write down basically all the addresses that you are going to be going to, and you need to write a letter to yourself to say that you are able to work for these reasons, for pool cleaning, okay? Make sure you have your NIE number, your address, and all your credentials on there. Name, if you've got a passport, then put some passport information in there as well. It's just anything possible just to get the police off your back, basically, okay? So you can still pool clean, all right? Right, moving on. Okay, some countries are now stopping airspace. It hasn't been confirmed which. Burger, John Lester. Yes, you can go to work now. So some countries are now stopping airspace over the forthcoming days. So if you are still flying, you might have some cancellations if you have been booked on an emergency flight. Just be cautious that this could happen, okay? So be very, very careful with that. UK, they are still offering emergency flights. It all depends on the airline that you are flying with. I know that I've read on Ryanair that they will be grounding most of their flights from the 24th onwards. So if you are trying to get a flight, try and get it before the 24th. Ferries, this is the other transport update. Ferries in Spain, Brittany Ferries specifically, they put out a notice yesterday. They are now stopping all of their ferries from the UK to Spain and to France and Ireland. So all of these ferries from now on are either fully booked and then cancelled. So if you are trying to get onto a ferry, trying to get back home, I'm very sorry, but you're going to have to try and get to the tunnel. There is no news yet on whether the tunnel is yet closed or if it is going to be closing, but I will keep you updated about that. That is not a problem. Right, the next big thing which I watched on the news, ITV, last night is England is out on semi-lockdown for some reason. All schools have now been cancelled and closed in the UK. All pubs, restaurants, bars, cafes, they have all been closed as well. But anyone who is watching in the UK, please do not worry. This is what's happened a week ago in Spain. And it is literally a week to this day where all of these measures were taken into place. It will pass. Do not worry, okay? Now this goes on to the next point, which is don't panic and do not stockpile, okay? You do not have to worry about food running out because there are still freights going over from each country. There's still food coming in. There is still local food in the UK that you're going to be pushing out into the supermarkets. They'll be working tirelessly, but there is going to be enough food for everyone. Please do not stockpile, okay? And there was a quick question there. I got distracted there. Collecting people from the airport, please. 3 people in the car, okay, and documents needed. No, Janet, no more cars can pick up people from the airport. You cannot have a private car and pick up people from the airport. If you want to risk it, it's at your own fault here if you get caught, okay? The law now states that nobody in a private car can pick up anyone from the airport unless they are elderly, disabled, or young, okay? So please, please, please be very careful from picking up people. All right, moving on. And this is the other thing about products and everything coming and not being out of stock. There are 300,000 masks on its way from China. This was on the news today. So do not worry. If you watched the video yesterday, how to make a mask, brilliant. You're covered, I guess. But there are going to be more masks coming, so do not stockpile on masks for 50 masks for only 2 people. You don't need to do this. Just keep the essentials that you need. You can make a mask if you need to go out, but do not worry. Do not panic buy about any of this. Right, next thing, we also had a lot of people asking about long-term rentals. You guys are fine. If you have people in your property who are long-term renting, do not worry. And if you are currently renting in a long-term through Airbnb or anything like this, long-term is classed as more than 30 days. So if you are in a long-term rental, do not worry, this will not be closing. This does not count for you. But all hotels and bed and breakfasts and everything, which is short-term, yes, they will be closing next week. So if you are currently in a hotel, please try and get to an airport, try and get back onto a flight back to the UK, or start looking for long-term solutions, okay? The next bit, dog owners, cat owners, animal owners in general, yes, you can go to the vets. That is classed as an emergency, so yes, you can go to the vets. It should be one person in the car taking that dog, cats, animal to the vets. So yes, you can go to the vets, but please ring your vets beforehand, because what we don't want is people going to the vets and finding out they are closed. They should only be opening up for emergencies, so ring your vets beforehand, okay? Next thing, car rentals. Now, car rentals, we've had a document that came through. I'm still yet to do some research on it, because unfortunately I lost track of time and ran out of time, basically. If you are returning a vehicle, then there are certain things that you might have to do. First, you should ring the company to make sure that they are open. And because of the new laws put into place, you cannot drive two people in a car. So what you can do is go to the drop-off section, drop the keys off and get a taxi back. Or you can ring the company and state that because of the coronavirus emergency, you can no longer drive unless they come and pick it up for you. Basically, get hold of them to see if they could also extend it, or if they will come and pick it up. Just make sure the company knows, okay? This is what the document said today. Now, I'm still yet to do some research, so please take all of this advice with a pinch of salt, because it is really, really crucial that any information that I share on here, it's not legal advice, it's just information that I'm translating and sending over to you guys, okay? Right, driving licenses as well. All driving licenses have been extended for at least 60 days, okay? So if your driving license is expiring in the next 60 days, do not worry, you'll have an extra 60 days on top of the expiration date, okay? That should hopefully be more time than necessary for all of this to blow over and get back to normal. So if you do have a driving license, do not worry, you have an extra 60 days. Right, moving on. Telephone numbers. Now, we put up the telephone numbers for all of the regions in Spain. All the coronavirus hotlines, basically, of where you need to call if you think you have the symptoms. Now, what are the symptoms? We did this 2 videos ago. The symptoms are a cough or a dry throat that persists in a cough as well, a fever of more than 38 degrees, and your shortness or lack of breath. If you have these 3 symptoms, then ring one of the numbers in your local areas. They're posted 2 days ago. Yesterday, I think it was, I posted it, but you'll be able to find it, okay? It's all on this page. Now, if you think you have the coronavirus, or if you think you have all 3 symptoms, you ring, first of all, try and get through. Now, if you do not speak Spanish, we can ring for you. We have done this previously, and we've done this for a couple of other people. Now, an update to the story yesterday, which I'll go into, but my wife and I, we are ringing the emergency services for people who do not speak Spanish. Sometimes they say, we don't speak Spanish, we don't have anyone who speaks Spanish. Yes, they do have someone who speaks Spanish there, they just have to find them, okay? So what you should be doing is just insisting, okay? If you can't get through on those numbers, you should ring 112. Now, this is the 999 of UK in Spain. So 112 is the official number that you should ring. And again, persist of someone who speaks English, okay? Then you tell them what your symptoms are, and hopefully they will get someone out to you immediately just to do a test, okay? Now, what you should then do is self-isolate. If you think you have the symptoms, you self-isolate. Do not contact anyone in your family or anyone who else is in the house. Self-contaminate in one of your bedrooms and wait for the officials or the emergency staff to come. They will do a test. Now, like I said, the quick tests are arriving, but at the moment they've just got the normal tests, which can take up to 24 hours to show the results. If it is a strong case and the symptoms are quite bad, they will take you to hospital and you will be put in quarantine. This is just a precaution until the test results obviously come back, but they want to make sure that you are safe. Now, this all leads me back to the woman yesterday in my story. And we had a woman yesterday message me, and this was the first time it actually happened. It hit me hard because I didn't think this page would actually be helping with so many people like yourselves who are watching right now. This woman, she had all 3 symptoms of the coronavirus. She messaged me and she didn't speak Spanish, so my wife, my beautiful wife, she made the phone calls and she managed to get emergency staff over to her house. We had a back and forth of a couple of messages because they needed someone who was in the region to call for her, so we managed to sort this all out. And in the end, she was taken to hospital and she's currently in hospital in care. Very, very good care. She thanked me this morning for all my help. So this is for you, Cynthia. If you are watching this, I really hope you make a full recovery. And we're dying to hear your story. If you can message me back whenever, that would be fantastic. Oh, and I get a chocolate for my wife. How about that? So yes, she is hopefully well and she should be recovering over the next couple of weeks. So we wish her all the lucks, and anyone, if you're watching right now, if you give a little heart so she knows that you're watching and you're sharing your thoughts for her as well. And anyone else out there who does not speak Spanish, contact us straight away. I've put my phone number. This is my business line on the page. If you do not speak Spanish, wow, look at all those loves coming through. You guys are awesome. If you do not speak Spanish, you can contact me on Facebook and you can contact me through WhatsApp and telephone as well. All of this is through me and my wife, but we just want to make sure that you guys are safe and you have the knowledge going ahead over the next couple of weeks, okay? Right, how can I get emergency flight to the UK? Now, yesterday I had another woman call me. She is back in the UK and she's trying to get an emergency flight back. All of her flights that she has previously booked and changed have been cancelled. So what can you do? My best advice that I can give you right now is just to go to the airport, make sure someone takes you. Go to the airport, go to the Ryanair, EasyJet, Jet2, whatever airline, and get an emergency flight back. There are lots of people saying that when they were flying back, half of the plane was empty, which means there's going to be spaces on the plane. I would suggest going, because a lot of people are trying to ring and they're not getting through to any answers here. A lot of people are emailing and not getting any answers. So the best advice that I can give you is to go directly to the airport and go directly to the stands. Jet2, Ryanair, EasyJet, just get to the stand, to the offices that they've got there and get a flight. That's the best advice I can give you for getting an emergency flight from here in Spain. You could do exactly the same as well, or back in the UK, okay? Right, we're going to move on to the last 2 things, okay? The last 2 things, and then I'm going to finish. It's going to be a shorter video today. Now, I've seen a lot of videos of people applauding, going out onto their balconies at 8 p.m. every single night. This is what the Spanish are doing. You might have seen a lot of videos going around online at the moment. A lot of the police force, the nurses, the staff in all the hospitals, they take a break at 8 p.m. every night and they go out and they applaud each other for the work that they have done. And a lot of neighbours are also doing this, which leads me to the next thing, which I need your help. Now, I saw a couple of videos yesterday where people have set up speakers, giant speakers, PA speakers, and they've been blasting out some songs. I think that's a fantastic idea. I really do. Because I used to be a DJ, I've got my PA speakers and I want to try this as well, but I need your help with this. I want to find an anthem. I want to find a song that all of us can play at 8 p.m. tonight and for the next couple of days, and we all stick with that one song. But I need your help. I want you to show me or write in the comments what song you think is going to be the best song that we can put out. I've seen a lot of Police, Don't Stand So Close to Me. What was the other one? Queen, I Want to Break Free. There's so many different songs that I've heard. I want to hear an anthem. So if you think you know what song we could play all at 8 p.m. tonight, then write it in the comment. And what I'm going to do around 6 or 7 p.m. tonight, I'm going to put out a post, and hopefully we can share it like crazy and start something new. We can have that one anthem playing throughout of Spain just so we can show our support. I think it could be something special, something that we're all a part of, and something we can all show our appreciation for as well. And also, if you do this tonight, I want to see some photos. So always look at the bright side of life. I thought of that one, Ruth, a very, very good one. So tonight, if you do this, I want you to send some photos to this page. If you can share any photos through the messenger, I'll put up a post this evening if you want to tag in your photos as well. I just want to see some photos of you guys doing it, and we can share them with everyone else. And that's basically it, guys. I've done most of the news today, just translating as much as I can, just getting the information out as much as possible. Again, if you think this has helped yourself or anyone that you know, share it with everyone that you can. Now, I found out yesterday why I've been marked as spam. This is actually a bug that Facebook, they emailed me yesterday. Facebook had a bug where anyone talking about coronavirus, they were automatically marked as spam. Unfortunately, I put in coronavirus in the title and they marked me as spam. This has now been lifted, so I can still share, but it's you guys who are doing the most of the work right now. I don't want to be pestering people. So if you think this helps anyone, share it with them. And what you can do, you can copy the URL of this video as well, and you can share it on WhatsApp, and we can start sharing this as many times as possible. I love all of these songs coming through. Don't Worry, Be Happy is a very good one. You'll Never Walk Alone, it's a classic. I Will Survive, Gloria Gaynor. We could do the original there, definitely, guys. We Are the Champions, another good one from Queen. I'm going to read through and I'm going to see if I can maybe put a poll together and see if we can have different things. And guys, Ben Loveland, if you're replying to other people's questions, you're amazing. You really are helpful because, like I said, it's just myself and my wife responding to all of these messages. We've got a newborn baby, so of course she is a priority. But when we do have time, this is now our focus. We're trying to help as many people as possible. So I'm now going to enjoy my chocolate that my wife threw at me. And yes, you can tell my wife how amazing she is in the comments as well, because she does read this. And that's it for today. Now, every day I'll be doing from 4 p.m. another video just like this. So if you want any more information or any questions whatsoever, please just message me and I'll try and get it out in the next video as well. You guys are absolutely amazing. All 250 of you watching live right now, you are truly, truly amazing. And I really appreciate all of your phrases, your comments, your messages. You know, people have started praising me. I'm not doing this for any gain. I'm just helping. So, you know, you do not have to praise me. Praise everyone else who is doing all the work. The nurses, the fire staff, the police. They're the ones who are really heroes out here. So guys, thank you very much. I'm going to enjoy my chocolate and I'll see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. Okay? Bye guys.